On guys, today we'll be talking about the Celtics versus Nets playoff prediction. I want to hear your opinions down below. Before we start today's video, shout out to The Athletic, Jay King, Jared Weiss, and Alex Sheffer for their opinions and stuff. And, stuff I'll reiterate in this video is heavily influenced by them. I want to hear your opinions down below in the comments section. What do you guys think of this? I just realized my light's a little off. There we go. And guys, we'll be talking about, is Bruce Brown right about the front court of the Celtics? Is that them not having Robert Williams is huge. That way they can attack Daniel Tice and Al Horford in the paint. Is the Nets' biggest concern, how they'll hold up defensively against the Boston offense. And what else we'll also talk about is, will the Celtics' defensive scheme of switching work against Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving? Okay? And what will happen when the go-to guys for both teams rest? So what's the prediction? Okay, and let's get right into it. I want to hear your thoughts right now. Let's get right into it. Okay, look, I don't think Bruce Brown's entirely wrong. Okay, without Robert Williams, it's going to be tough because he wipes away a lot of their misses. He can give the perimeter defenders confidence to be more aggressive because he provides the drop coverage, the rim protection that is needed, okay? He's a guy that, when he's on the court with Al Horford, the Celtics can guard at a level that no team can match, okay? And by the numbers, you can argue that the Celtics have defended better with Tyson Horford on the floor on over 109 minutes over that combo. The Celtics have pummeled opponents by 33.2 points per 100 possessions, okay? So you could argue, though, those stats are beefed up by playing against a bunch of bad teams or shorthanded teams. So while the team's best lineups have not dropped off without Robert Williams in the lineup, I do like to say that the Celtics do allow 6 more points in the paint per 100 possessions with Tice on the court rather than Williams. Now, I don't know if that's going to make a lot because Steve Nash only played 9 guys in the play-in tournament against the Cavaliers. They were Durant, Irving, Andre Drummond, Nick Claxton. Nick Claxton played more than Drummond. Seth Curry, who wasn't really that effective shooting-wise, but he did other stuff. Patty Mills, Bruce Brown, a little bit of Kessler Edwards, and Goran Dragic. And of those 9, you could say Kevin Durant, Irving, and Brown were the scorers, and it was Brown because of his floaters. So it's going to have to make Drummond and Claxton a factor here going up against, Tice and Horford, okay? Because that puts Tice and Horford in a tricky situation where they're going to have to be leaving the corner shooter wide open to take on the bigs. And Boston will have to do that because Drummond and Claxton are so athletic near the rim. Now, Williams may actually return during this series, so the Celtics have to sound pretty optimistic. And I think it's just, look, it comes down to the Nets' biggest concern will be how they'll hold up defensively against the Boston attack. Because, look, Boston attacks really turned a corner, even compared to last season when they had plenty of holes and somewhat of their defensive personnel was questionable. It's just, look, they do play, this is a team that I know Brooklyn does have defensive-minded combination of Durant, Brown, and Nick Claxton, and then you throw out, they've done, Seth Curry and Kyrie out there. But I don't think Ben Simmons could return. If he does, he'll be the difference maker because even if he gives them 10 to 15 minutes defense against Tatum and Jaylen Brown, that'll be more than enough. Regardless of Ben Simmons' availability, I think Brooklyn switches on defense as much as Boston. Boston does a ridiculous amount, but Durant and Claxton on Tatum as much as possible with some rotation to provide some mismatches with Dragic, Bruce Brown, and Mills and Irving all lack size against Tatum. I think even Brown, they'll all have a tough chance, but I think if Bruce Brown and Durant can shut down, and Bruce Brown, Claxton, and Durant can shut down Tatum, and then you hope that Bruce Brown can also help out guarding Brown with, Dragic, Mills, and Irving, you can slow down this attack and force Smart and Derek White to beat you, okay? So that's where I'm going to give you my prediction, and I got to go. Look, I go back and forth with this, I feel like, all the time. And I think this series is going to be at least 6 games, probably going to be a 7 game. And I got to go unless Ben Simmons returns. If Ben Simmons returns, I'm going the Nets. But if Ben Simmons does not return, I'm going Celtics in 6 or 7. If Ben Simmons does return, then it's 6 or 7, the Nets. But right now, with Ben Simmons out, it's going to be the Celtics. But if Ben Simmons comes back, I'm going with, the Nets.